Good day. As I promised, I'm going to do a video every day. This is my last day, last week, last month of working, and I thought it well to share my experience as being a child and healthcare worker at the facility of boys. This is my third video. If you want to follow the story, you can go look at the other two videos just to get a bit of context. Now, yesterday I stopped at the point of trying to get into the work, but about the environment. And so the beginning of the first couple of days, I would say up until about middle next week, it's going to sound very hectic, the environment that I found myself in when I started to work. Because remember, I just started to work. I wanted to work for government. I didn't have any inclination of what work it was for government. I wanted to work for government because government gave you some security, which is you could buy a house, you had medical aid, you had pension. So those are the things that you want to have when you start to work, because it creates a sense of security for your family and all that. So that was the reason why I took the job where I took the job at the facility of boys called Bonington in Wynberg at that stage. And that environment, when I arrived at the environment, all the people, including myself, we weren't trained to provide developmental care. Those words were not even in our vocabulary. So basically, the environment was just an environment where I went to work because I needed to earn a salary, and whatever happens there, happens there. The environment was more skewed towards the comfort of staff. Whatever was beneficial for staff is what we did. There was no, or very limited, we say no because no means it's very strong, but there was very limited interactiveness between staff and children. There was no such thing as programs. The programs we did was watch TV, play a little bit outside. So now and then the children can play a bit of soccer, but there was no planned activities, if I might call it, if I can call it that. So it was all about coming to work, trying to do as little as possible. You just make sure that you do the bare minimum of making sure that nobody runs away, nobody gets hurt. You still they must go to the doctor, to the clinic. That outside you take them there. We had to sit in the hospital for the whole day, and that was what some staff didn't, because I had to sit at the doctor for a whole day at the hospital for the whole day with the boy. We also didn't view boys as being in need. We just viewed them as being what brought them here is their choice. So you know what, here it is, they will have to do and see what we want to do with them. So it was a very toxic environment for development of young people. One of I think I did say this, I mean, there was a cell there that one of the reasons why we came to Bonington was that children were locked up and unsupervised, and it was just not the environment that was conducive. And also, when I started to work, I think we had about 150 boys, if not more. And there were 4 people on a shift. It's 8 people. There were 4 dormitories. So you can imagine that one person working with a minimum of 40 boys. And so the only thing we could do was to do containment. I mean, there's no way that you're going to be able to do anything specifically and with the boys. And even if somebody doesn't come to work, then it means that one person must work between 2 dormitories, and containment was the order of the day. And because it was all men, because it was only males, and the staff working with the boys were all male. It was a male-dominated environment. The females was there, was a secretary, a social worker, some staff, female staff working in the kitchen, obviously, and then females are working in the laundry. So it was an environment where children's development, and like I said in the beginning of this whole journey of mine, it sounds, but it's going to get good things as we move. But I need to create this basis for you, so you can understand as you follow as you follow this, you will get to understand the growth. Hopefully, you're gonna experience that throughout my life as a child in EQ work, and how things change, and how incidences changed the way that I operated. I mean, there was no thing of children coming to ask staff for anything. I mean, at night, there was only one person at night looking after the whole facility of 160, 170 boys. So containment was the order of the day, and those people did not work inside where the boys were sleeping. They were basically just roaming, doing security work around the place. And again, it was about containment. So at night, boys were locked up in their rooms. I'm saying it's not a nice thing, but it's part of my development over the years. So boys were locked up. It was not nice to lock the boys up, make sure that there's a potty toilet thing inside the room for them. So one never knew what happened during the night with no new boys. And if I yeah, and yeah, so I say it wasn't a pleasant environment for children to be in. But obviously there were some good things that also happened for children in that time. But so that was just the basis of what I mean, yeah. And so when I come back again tomorrow, I will again take you further on this journey. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.